Boys, gents, fellas, lads, boys, we've got some huge stuff to talk about with Marvel Rivals, and that's what we're gonna do. I've been sitting on this video for a while because I'm a lazy bum and I haven't been making it, but there is so much to talk about specifically with unreleased characters in this game. So I want to talk to you guys about unreleased characters, what we're going to be getting, some characters we do know about abilities, and of course what we all play this game for, the skins. Confirmed skins that we have seen. There are leaked images of, you know, right here. I'm probably in the corner, so right there. We do have confirmed skins. I'll go worst to best here. Maybe not worst to best, but we'll save the best for last. Let's say that. Of these 3 confirmed skins, leaked skins, I should say, but we do have confirmed pictures. We have the Cloak and Dagger Twin Dance. It's either Twin Dance or Twin Companions. I'm assuming, because it's translated, the leaks are translated from Chinese. I'm going to assume it's Twin Dance. That just sounds cooler, so I'm hoping it's Twin Dance. Really cool looking skin. I like the color swap. Love the details. Looks really nice. On to the next, we have a Loki skin. This one we do not know the name of, but it looks really cool. This one is extremely detailed, and I love the kind of dark fantasy Elden Ring-esque vibe it's giving. I really like this, especially for a character like Loki. And best for last, obviously we have the Moon Knight Temple Priest skin. That's the name for it in the game, but it is just going to be his MCU show. This is a skin that is super sexy. It's super unique. I'm really glad they're putting it into the game. Moon Knight has a ton of cool costumes, but this one, the MCU did a really good job. The mummy-esque design for, you know, the Egyptian part of it, it looks really cool, so I'm really glad they're putting this one. Now, moving on to the meat, the reason you're here, the reason you're looking at this. We're going to be talking about characters that are leaked, but pretty much confirmed, 100% going to be in the game. Although, I do need to preface by saying we do not know when these characters are going to be in the game, okay? So, don't be hopping in the comments and being like, are these coming in Season 1? I don't know. Maybe you know, I don't. I couldn't find any information on it, but these characters will eventually be in the game. And with the list I'm about to tell you, you're about to hear how many there are. I doubt they're all going to come in Season 1 or even Season 2. I imagine these are going to be spread out over time. So, the characters that are leaked, but confirmed, are going to be Ultron, which this one is interesting because, like I said, we do not have a release date, but leakers are saying that, you know, Ultron is coming to the game sooner than you think. So, he might come out this season. I doubt it. He's probably going to be one that does come out in Season 1. And if I had to guess, the next people on this list are also going to be coming out in Season 1, which is going to be the Fantastic Four. Obviously, your standard Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, The Thing, and Human Torch. Now, based off leaks and popularity of what I have been seeing, I doubt that they would do 5 characters in Season 1. They could, I'm not sure. But based off what I've been seeing, the first 2 that are going to come from the Fantastic Four are going to be Mr. Fantastic and Human Torch. Now, I say this specifically because it was confirmed that The Thing and Invisible Woman are the least worked on of the Fantastic Four. They have files in the game, but those files are not detailed. They don't really have anything ready for them other than art. So if I had to guess, I would assume we're going to get at least half of the Fantastic Four, but don't get your hopes up expecting both of them. Now we're just going to speed run this list. Again, none of these other ones have release dates. We do not know anything, and those characters are going to be Blade, Captain Marvel, Hitmonkey, Angela, Emma Frost, Jean Grey, specifically the Phoenix, the Hood, which we're not sure if it's going to be the Hood. It could also potentially be Ghost Rider. Data miners and leakers aren't sure. I don't know if that's because of a language barrier or what the case is, but it says the Hood, but it could possibly also be Ghost Rider. And finally, Deadpool. So this list is really interesting to me because there's a few things I want to break down. Like I said, Fantastic Four, don't know if we're going to get all of them, whatever. But some other interesting things is Captain Marvel, you can go a few different ways. I've heard it's obviously going to be Carol Danvers. Angela is another interesting one. Emma Frost and Jean Grey kind of makes sense, especially with the Phoenix Force Jean Grey being the one. Obviously, she's going to have a more unique set of powers. I think that'll be really cool. Ghost Rider, I think, would make more sense than the Hood, but I will get back to that. Deadpool also obviously makes a lot of sense. He can just work so well as a character, a playable character. In a video game setting, he can work really well with his kit and, you know, breaking the fourth wall. He could be a really cool character. But something I want to bring attention to is someone like Hitmonkey, because I don't know if you have, but I played a decent amount of Marvel Snap as well, and something I find... Granted, let me preface by saying Marvel Snap has every single Marvel character in the game, okay? But what I was going to say was I find it interesting that they're using these platforms to pick and choose. Obviously, it's a video game. They can do whatever they want, but to pick and choose what characters they want to push to the front line and kind of put on this pedestal. And I say that because obviously someone like Jeff the Landshark has become extremely popular and been he was already popular, but his popularity has been boosted even further because of his role in this game. And I think that's interesting because not only does it create an atmosphere where that character is popular, but I'm seeing his comics posted on TikTok. I'm seeing his face plastered everywhere, and people are obsessed with him because he's cute, he's funny, he's adorable, all these things. So I find it really interesting that they're kind of picking and choosing who they want to push forward, because I can very well see a character like Hitmonkey. I can see people be like, yo, Hitmonkey's dope, I want to read this comic, we need a movie for Hitmonkey. It's kind of similar to the way the Guardians were portrayed. They took a chance on James Gunn's style, they thrust them into the MCU, and now they're a fan favorite. So I just want to point that out because personally I think it's really interesting how they're picking and choosing which characters they want to shove in your face, and it works. I'm not mad at it. I just find it interesting. It kind of works from a marketing standpoint. Someone like Jeff, Marvel Unlimited subscriptions may have gone up, because they want to read his comics, or they want to see what's going on with Jeff just because he's cute, he's adorable, everybody loves him. It's kind of that sort of thing. So I say that because the rest of the characters on here kind of make sense, but to have Hitmonkey on there is a very, very, very interesting choice. Moving on into certain characters' kits. Now, we do not have all the details, right? I have some details for some of these characters. We definitely do not have all the details. So I have a list of about 6 characters here that are on that list that do have their abilities leaked. Like I said, I don't have all of their abilities, like Human Torch, for example. I only have his team up, but some of them are on here. With that being said, I'm going to start with the characters that don't have as much info, and then we will move into the ones that are very, very detailed and have had their full kit leaked. Leaked. So for Human Torch, we do know that he is going to be a duelist. This hasn't necessarily been leaked or confirmed. However, Brother's going to be a duelist. Okay. And we do not know what his abilities are as of now, but for some reason we do have one of his team up abilities. Obviously the Fantastic Four are going to have some sort of team up, but we do have one of Human Torch's team ups, which is actually with Storm. This team up is going to be called Omega Fire. It's actually a sick title. Omega Fire. That's pretty cool. Team up with Storm called Omega Fire, and it goes as such. Storm can consume one of Human Torch's fire tornadoes. Boom, pause. Right there. The way that's worded basically tells us that Brother will already have a fire tornado in and of his own kit, because it says Storm can consume one of Human Torch's fire tornadoes. That's already yes. Anyways, Storm can consume one of Human Torch's fire tornadoes into her ultimate to ignite her hurricane. Human Torch can that period to ignite her hurricane. Okay, so she can have a fire tornado hurricane, which would be sick. I imagine it simply gives it a damage boost and does more damage, which is really, really cool. Period. But then there's this part as well. Human Torch can turn Storm's hurricane into a fiery hurricane with his ultimate, which will enlarge the intensity of his fire tornadoes caught in its path. So, based off that assumption, we can assume his ultimate has to do with his fire tornado. I doubt that is a regular ability, but overall, a very, very cool team up. Interested to see how it goes. The only problem with this team up is that someone has to play Storm. The next two on our list that we don't have as much info on, we only have the names of their abilities, are going to be the Invisible Woman and Blade. Blade is obviously going to be another duelist because that's what we need more of. And his kit goes as such. His primary weapon is going to be a katana, duh. His secondary weapon is going to be a hunting shotgun, which I find interesting. So he's obviously going to be a melee character, but it's going to be kind of backward in the sense that if he's, if he's getting pushed by an Iron Fist, a Spider-Man, whatever, you might whip out the shotgun rather than katana, because I imagine it will do more damage. His passive is going to be called Bloodline Liberation. His left click, or his primary, is going to be called Stomp and Slash. His right click is going to be called Dark Knight Attack. His E is going to be called Fang Deflect. His ultimate being called New Moon, and he will obviously have a team night with Moon Knight, which I think is really cool. If they add someone like Ghost Rider into the mix, you kind of get a Midnight Suns. You could do it with Wolverine as well. You could get a Midnight Suns team up going. I think that would be really, really cool. Like I said, for Invisible Woman and the Blade, the ones I just read, I do only have the names, so do with that what you will. Feel free to speculate in the comments. I need them. The simple ones that I was talking about are for Invisible Woman, which we can assume is going to be a strategist. So her weapon is called Psionic Invisibility. Obviously, you have to have invisibility in there. She's the Invisible Woman. What else are you gonna do? Her passive is going to be Invisible Energy. Her left click, her primary is going to be Psychic Strike. Her right click is going to be Psychic Aid. Her E is going to be Psychic Vortex. You know what I'm saying by simple names. And her ultimate is going to be called Psycho Field. But moving on to the meat, the big, just girthy, juicy meat of what I want to talk about today is we have three characters who have been leaked, have been confirmed, and now have their full kit leaked as well. So let's get into it. These three characters are going to be Mr. Fantastic, Ultron, and The Thing. So this is what I was talking about earlier with two of the four Fantastic Four, because these guys are down to the detail. You know what I'm saying? But some of the others aren't. So starting with Ultron. Let's start with Ultron because the other two do kind of go together as they are in the Fantastic Four. Ultron is actually going to be a strategist, which when I read this kit, I don't know your initial reaction because you're a camera right now, not a person. Losing my mind. But Ultron is actually going to be a strategist, which makes sense when I read out these abilities, and it's actually going to be really, really, really cool. So let's get into it. His passive is going to be called Algorithm Correction, and the ability is hold jump to fall slowly. So, go up high. His left click is called Encephalo Ray. The ability, unleash a burning energy beam. Okay, damage, love to see it. Right click is going to be called Dynamic Flight. Fly quickly in the direction of movement and then enter a free flight mode. So you can fly. Where it gets juicy. Okay, those are all like, okay, fly, damn, got it, cool, yeah. Okay, yeah. No. Okay. E ability, Imperative. How do you say that? Imperative. Hold on. Let me mouse. Imperative. His E ability is going to be called Imperative Patch. Command a giant drone, to follow an ally. Constantly healing allies in its radius with more healing for the designated ally. This is goated. Now, I'm interested to see what the drone looks like, what it's like, how much healing it does. All of these things obviously factor in, but I'm interested to see because say you do this to someone like Spider-Man, right? Or Black Panther. The movement is crazy. They're in the backline. They're doing all these sorts of things. It says giant drone. I just don't picture a world in which this drone can keep up. Now, I know it's a video game, whatever. But it's just going to be interesting to see how it works. But that alone sounds goated. Healing allies in its radius, but primarily healing the designated ally. You could slap that on a tank, and it's great because it's passive in a way. It's similar to Luna Snow's, she throws it on you, and as she heals other people, you get healed. It's similar to that, and it's the IP. I think we just need to take a second and acknowledge how great it is that we have this game. I mean, this is a Marvel-themed game. This is Marvel IP. So these aren't just, random heroes and random characters and random abilities. I mean, I have to step back and we got to be gracious that, this is Ultron. Ultron. This is the Ultron, okay? And they're putting in abilities that match the character, that are good for the character, that... Oh, it's so good. But that's not even the best of it, okay? Left shift. Now, I do think these might be mixed up. Again, these are leaked. These are from data miners, so whatever. But stay with me now. Obviously, these might not be their specific abilities in relation to their primary, their secondary, their movement, whatever. But as of now, left shift, imperative patch. I read that wrong, okay? Left shift is imperative patch, which is command a giant drone to follow an ally, constantly healing allies in its radius with more healing for a designated ally. Let's go back one. The E ability is called imperative firewall. Summon drones to grant bonus health to allies within range, centered on himself and the ally marked by imperative patch. So you mark someone with imperative patch, they obviously have their giant drone following them, healing the radius, but on top of that, you use imperative firewall and you summon those drones to grant bonus health to allies within the range, centered on yourself, but also for the person marked imperative patch. So Ultron is basically going to be strictly pocket, okay? Like, he is going to be pocket, but going to be cracked. But on paper, he should be cracked, okay? And then his ultimate is going to be the Rage of Ultron, which alone makes me want to bust. It sounds dope. Rage of Ultron. Summon Ultron drones to fire encephalo rays from earlier, damaging enemies or healing allies. Brother, this is gonna be sick. We're getting Ultron in a video game, playable, where you just fly around, summon drones, and just be like, heal, hurt them, heal them, hurt them. What? That's gas! But moving on to the next one, we're gonna be moving to one of the two Fantastic Four who does have their kit leaked. Damn it! Which is going to be the Thing. Obviously, the Thing is going to be a Vanguard. The dude's huge. He's a rock. But his kit goes something like this. His passive is going to be called Solid as a Rock. Immune to enemy knockback, and other displacement effects. That's pretty good. I mean, that's really good. I would like to preface, as I go through this, the Thing seems, on paper, with these, boring. Okay? I'm just going to say that. He's kind of, you know how Hulk right now is just Hulk? And no one wants to play him because his best feature is that he's got a lot of health. And that's it. That's kind of how the Thing is. He has some good abilities. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm more so saying, on paper, he seems... Okay, yeah. Left click, combination punch. Quick and continuous punches. Case in point. But again, I'm not hating. It's the Thing. Again, going back to the Ultron thing, this is Marvel. I'm glad the Thing is going to be in the game. I'm going to be able to play him. That's sick. Whatever. Right click is going to be Thunderbolt Punch. Deliver a devastating punch. Okay. His left shift is going to be Furious Charge. Continuously charge forward, lifting up enemies in your path, leaving behind a seismic zone that prohibits displacement. Pretty good ability. I'm not going to lie. Being able to kind of lift people up in a Penny Parker-esque ult fashion is going to be really nice, especially just for your left shift. And on top of that, the seismic zone that prohibits displacement is going to be really, really useful. Moving on to his E ability, we have Battlefield Support. Jumps towards teammates and adds damage reduction to them and yourself. That is his E ability. So that's actually, again, another pretty good ability. Obviously, on paper, that's kind of what I mean. Kind of like, okay. Especially because we don't know to what extent he's going to add that damage reduction. You know, we don't know how much damage reduction it's going to be. Also, in a pinch, you know, just situationally, how do you use it, stuff like that. But overall, pretty good. Moving on to his ultimate, we have a slam moment. Uses tremendous force to knock all enemies in front of you into the air. And then for one of his team ups, we do know, I don't know if it's still in the game, but there was a point in which you could go and look at the fastball special, and it would say like Wolverine can use fastball special with Hulk, and it would be a blank, or it would say and it would be a blank. This is that blank. It is confirmed to be the Thing. The Thing will also be able to do the fastball special, which is pretty cool. It'll be really fun. Moving on to our third and final character, the one that personally I don't know, I'm really excited for Ultron, but I'm also really excited for this character, and that's going to be Mr. Fantastic. Surprisingly, I would say Mr. Fantastic is going to be a Vanguard, which you can kind of say surprisingly to a lot of these characters, because there's going to be a lot of duelists. I feel like the most blatant, obvious answer for a lot of these is Strowman duelist, but I'm glad that they're branching out. Other than your Hulks, your things, you know, your Abominations, they're obviously those are going to be Vanguards, right? But to have someone like Mr. Fantastic as a Vanguard is very, very interesting. So let's get into his abilities. His passive is going to be called Elastic Strength. Skills generate elasticity, boosting attack power. Reaching full elasticity triggers an inflated state that restores health and boosts even more damage. That's insane, okay? That's basically, I don't know. It's basically just being good. That's just a really good ability. Reaching full elasticity triggers an inflated state that restores health and boosts even more damage. That is really good, especially for the Vanguard state. I mean, that's just a really good ability. Left click is going to be Elastic Punch, obviously just a simple punch. Stretch out a forward punch to attack enemies. I think animation wise and like hitbox wise and all that sort of range wise, it's going to be similar to Groot, how he just kind of extends and the branch comes out. It's going to be like that. He extends his arm and it kind of flails out and hits somebody. So right click is going to be Rubber Grip. Extend arms forward to entangle hit enemies. Then left click to select and yank two more enemies. Obviously just kind of a stun. Being able to bring the enemies in. If you're playing up front, you can bring them in, kind of throw them back. Let your guys do the dirty work and you can continue to just tank. His E ability is going to be Flexible Elongation. Select a target and dash at it, dealing damage to enemies and granting bonus health to allies. And then his left shift is going to be Reflexive Rubber. Stretch body to absorb damage before launching stored damage in the targeted direction. This one is really cool, and on paper it sounds really good, and it is really good, but I want to know what it can do, okay? Because this goes back to the Ultron thing. This is another just using the character, using the IP like they are. They're like taking Mr. Fantastic, putting him in a video game, and making him able to throw shit back is gas. Because this is something, obviously it's Mr. Fantastic. He's a rubber dude. This is something that he would do in the comics. So on paper that sounds sick, but as his left shift, I'm interested to see what it can do. Is it just, you know, what can it do? Because it says stretch body to absorb damage before launching stored damage in the targeted direction. It doesn't necessarily say. It's obviously not going to specify or give an example, but does it mean literally just damage? Okay, you stretch, and now I'm taking Punisher bullets, I'm taking Hawkeye arrow, I'm taking all this damage, and then when I shoot it back out, do I emit a new form of damage in a different way? Or, you know, am I reflective? Obviously I'm not reflective, it's saying you store it and then shoot it out, but I'm interested to see how that works and what all it can take. If it can take certain things, like theoretically, if it could take a Magneto ult or something, if you could just left shift, absorb, that's gas, okay? So, and I'm interested to see, you know, how the damage disperses. I don't know. It's interesting, really, really cool. I'm really excited about that. And then his ultimate is going to be called Brainiac Bounce. Leap and smash, knocking back enemies within range. Okay, fairly simple. Upon hitting an enemy, leap again! Up to 6 times. So obviously that is similar to Winter Soldier. You do a certain thing, you get to do your ult again, but it's really cool. On paper it sounds really good. Another one that we just need to see in game. We need more context. How much damage am I going to be doing? You know, how far am I going to be knocking enemies back? Because this could end up being really, really good, and on paper is already going to be really good. There you have it. There is everything we know as of December 18th, 9:53 p.m. My God, I need to go to bed. There's everything we know, everything that's been leaked, everything that you need to know about these upcoming characters. Again, we don't know when they're going to come out. Skins, we don't really know when they're going to come out. Some of these characters, maybe like Ultron, some of the Mr. Fantastic, just because of how much info we have on them, we can assume that they're probably going to be coming out in season 1, if not early season 2. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like these abilities? Do you think they sound OP? Do you think they sound trash? Do you like the characters that are on that list? Who do you want to see that's not on the list? Who do you want off the list? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.